Hello and welcome to CarWale, and we are in freezing Finland for Audi's ice drive experience. Now, if you love driving, then this is a must-do, a bucket list item, if you will. Now, we say that because it's all about going sideways, it's all about drifting, and it's all about having a huge smile on your face. Now this experience for us is split over 3 days, and we start with some very basic stuff about how to drive the car or how to control it over really slippery ice. So we've got an oval track that we'll learn how to accelerate, how to control the drift, how to put it into a corner, and then control it so that we're not running wide and we're still sliding it and making an exit. Post that, we'll do a snake or a slalom, if you will, which is a little more challenging, of course, than the oval. And then once we've understood how to control the cars at a little bit of speed, then we'll be put through 2 tracks, 1A and 1B, which are supposed to be more flowing but still pretty challenging. And the goal here is not to get into or on the snowbank, because then our tractor guy Yuka will come and punch our tab, which we call the badge of embarrassment, because it shows how many times you've done a horrible job of controlling the car.
Once we've experienced all the tracks, we will be timed across one to see who is fastest. An exam, so to speak, of what one has learned. So it's not all fun and games. And we will do it in the Audi RS4. In fact, the RS4 Avant or station wagon will be our steed throughout the experience. For those not in the know, you can think of the RS4 as the stronger, louder, more excitable twin of the A4, which Audi sells in India. The RS4 is powered by a 3-litre turbocharged petrol engine, and it puts out a gut-wrenching 600 Newton meters of peak torque, along with a handsome 450 bhp of max power. It can go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4 seconds and hit a top speed of a limited 250 kilometers an hour. Not that these figures would matter much, not on ice, not with barely enough grip to walk even. What will matter though is the RS4's Quattro all-wheel drive system, its weight balance, its quick and fluid steering, its field-sub chassis, and the fact that we will be driving on steel-studded tires.
So now there are a few things that you must do when you're driving on ice. Now we've been doing this for 2 days, and here are a few lessons when it comes to driving on ice that our instructors have been trying to drill into our heads. Now, the thing is that you want to steer off gas or on brakes, because you want the weight to be at the front, and so you have grip, whatever little grip there is. So you get off, you tap the brakes, you steer, and then you unwind, and the moment you unwind, the rear starts to come out. Now once the rear starts to come out, that's when, depending on whether you're in the right angle, you can start getting on the gas. You don't want to get on the gas too early, you don't want to get on the gas too late. So here you steer, you hold it, the rear comes out, maybe correct it if you need to, but overall that's the way to do it on ice, and it takes a little while to get used to.
Somebody need a tractor.
Wow. So you gotta be like really careful, because it's so slippery.
And neutral on, and
yeah,
warning lights on, car, the tractor's coming.
So what you just heard is one of the cars going into the snowbank, and that means it's time for the badge of embarrassment, as we call, to get punched by Yuka, who's the tractor driver who pulls you out of the snowbank. So the idea is, of course, to be only as fast as you need to be, so that you don't overcook it, but it's very difficult. So that is the procedure. You hit the bank, you put on your hazards, you put it in neutral so the tractor guy can come and pull you out. So, but it is over 2 days. I mean, the whole point of this has been to be able to understand and balance the car on the edge of grip and play with it. So, and we're not really driving fast. We're barely doing 50 kilometers an hour. So, and that's the thing. There's very little to harm you or the car for that matter, because the snow isn't that, let's say, hard as in going into a wall. But yeah, but it tells you, it gives you that feel of what the rear is doing of the car, and so you know how much and when you need to correct it. And then the whole feeling of the car sliding under you it's just something else. If you like driving, that's exactly what you want to feel all the time. I mean, we want to do that on the road. You can't do that. We want to do that when it's monsoons, because that's when the coefficient of grip is really low. But here, that's all we've been doing. It's been absolute tremendous fun. So you steer, you unwind, and get on the gas. Just try and keep as center as possible. Steer, let the rear comes out, catch it, get on the gas, drive. Beautiful.
Pardon my slightly erratic in-car piece to camera, but I was overwhelmed enough not to properly string a couple of sentences together from behind the wheel. The thing is, the drive might look slow on camera, and at 50 kilometers per hour it probably is. But when grip on ice is as precious as air, at 13,000 feet, everything feels faster, hurried, and a little humbling. But the experience of driving on ice in a car that helps you along, like the RS4 does, is elating, to say the least. I felt like one of my rally heroes. The fact that I could put the RS4 sideways and drift it at will felt joyous and satisfying and completely dreamlike. And it wasn't a short tail-out moment we generally experience on a wet road or on gravel. This was drifting in its truest sense. Stitching the corners together, one drift after the next in a fluid, non-jerky and commanding fashion, corner after corner, lap after lap for over 2 whole days. It was absolutely brilliant, and I just never wanted it to end.
So now after 3 days, like we said at the start, this is, or Audi's Ice Drive experience is a bucket list item. And this I said before I had ever participated. This is my first time, but I had seen videos, I had read stories, and I had known about it, and I always wanted to do it. And as it turns out, after spending 3 days driving on ice, well, it is exactly what I expected, actually better. It's magical. You come to a place like this, it's, of course, there's whiteout, but the whole surrounding, the experience, and of course the drive is so surreal. I mean, if you are really a driving enthusiast, this is something you must do. Now, if you are a customer of Audi in India, then you pay around 4 lakh rupees. You can get on Audi India's website, or you can get to the dealer and come and do this. So if you have an Audi, because right now it's only open to Audi customers in India, come and do this, because it will be something that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Thank you so much for watching.